Hello everyone, today is a sad day for Tesboss. Why you might ask? Ford just sent a DMCA takedown to Tesboss and asked Tesboss to remove every single Ford cars in the game, which they do. Unfortunately, this is a really sad day to be honest. It is unfortunate. And so, what you have right now in Tesboss is that you only have 3 Ford cars in the game. Ford Focus RS, Ford Boattail, and then the modified Ford Model T, which is the Halloween hot rod in the game. So these 3 cars remains. And the rest, well, the Crazy Stang, the Ford GT, the Ford Mustang, the Ford Raptor, all of them got removed from the Tesboss. Erased. You cannot buy them anymore. You cannot spawn them anymore. You cannot see them in the game anymore. Or give them the DMCA takedown. Tesboss agree with it and remove all of the Ford model. And so like those are the cars that got removed in Tesboss. Like for example, the Ford GT got removed in Tesboss, which is crazy to be honest. Limited cars are not safe from this as well. Like for example, the Ford Mustang Fastback also got removed. Like Crazy and also as well, it's limited, it got removed. Car gets takedown was a huge deal because like in the future there might be more car manufacturer see Tesboss and then they said, hey, you cannot have our cars without our licensing, and then Tesla has to take the car model down, which is pretty sad. And why does this happening? Like why does Ford suddenly takes notice of Tesboss and start telling them to take the car down? I think like Tesboss has like one thumbnail with the Ford Crown Victoria appeal of it, and Roblox push it to have more play into it. Like that's a good thing. However, for Ford, that's a bad thing. And I think Ford saw that and they said, hey, that's our car model. And there it goes. They sent the DMCA, Tesboss developers obliged to it, and the rest is history. All of them is gone, except for few Ford cars in the game. You still can drive the Ford Focus RS, but you cannot buy it anymore. And you might be asking, if the Ford Focus RS, one of the starter cars that gets removed in Tesboss, what car replaces it? Well, if I'm telling you Nissan Altima is becoming part of the starter car, I won't be crying out loud, but it is true. Nissan Altima is now becoming one of the starter car in the game. If your friends play this game, if your family play this game for the first time, help them. Do not pick this car up. They will be regretting for the rest of their life. Trust me on that. And yeah, that is the answer. You cannot find any cars rather than the Ford Focus and the Ford Boattail, which is a terrible limited cars. I swear to God, it's a terrible limited cars. But thankfully, it did not get removed. Like given how bad the car model is, that left it slide. Was alright. At least we can still have some Ford in it. But that doesn't mean that, you know, good Ford is staying. Like all the Ford is staying. Like Ford GT, we did not have that anymore. Like see, there used to be a Ford GT at this spot, but it got removed because of Ford DMCA, which is a really sad thing to see. Like it used to be here. But now it's got removed and it looks pretty empty now. Now that the light spots on nothing, man, it's just so sad. Ford GT is gone, Ford Mustang is gone, Ford Raptor is gone. All of the Ford is gone except this car right here, the car that we all hate, Days. Well, it is what it is. We only get 3 out of 10 Ford model, which is still a good thing, but rather the bad thing as well, because those Ford are the Ford that nobody drives at all. Like in the future, if there's more car manufacturers saw Teslas and then they want DMCA takedown, like for example Toyota or like BMW or like Lamborghini, Ferrari, all of them, we do not know when Ferrari as Teslas to remove their car model. We do not know when Lamborghini wants their car to be removed from Teslas. It's just probably matter of time, really. It's just matter of time before every car from Teslas got removed, which is a really sad reality. And so like they are trying to find a solution to prevent stuff like this happening. Like for example, they probably will not add Ferrari cars anymore. They probably will not add Lamborghinis. They will probably not adding like for example the Chevrolet. They probably will not add any car manufacturer unless the car manufacturer couldn't care less about Roblox, or like even, you know, making a fictional car. In the future, we might see more of that coming soon. Because of this takedown, we'll probably see more fake car model in Teslas. Because before that, Teslas have never made a fictional car except April Fool's car. But now, because of this takedown, we might see more fictional car. Maybe developers plan to have it, but we're not so sure about it. Some of you might be asking, why not add a license? Why not licensing? Why not like trying to licensing Ford? Why not trying to license any kind of car brand? Developers have thought about this as well, but they said, you know, basically a testing game, not a realistic car game. like Driving Empire, so it makes sense licensing won't be waste of money, because your car looks blocky like this doesn't mean that you should licensing like Car Dealership Tycoon. Like, that is weird as hell. Licensing is also a powerful problem as well, because you also need to pay money to the brand as well, but not just the licensing but also the processing fee and stuff, which would be cost really a lot of money, which would cost tons of money for TestBoss developers, unless you are like a big game company. But for a game like this, for a game like TestBoss, a game made by 3 Session Dude, I don't think it's possible to even have licensing in the game. Like, unless they have backing. TestBoss got bought out by soulless game company on Roblox. That's not possible. That is not possible. You need to pay tons of money. TestBoss developers think it is not a logical way to do it for a test game, and that's that. So there goes the licensing. But you might be also asking, since the Ford GT got removed, will there be more cars in the future? Maybe not from this company. We might not getting cars from Ferrari, we might not getting cars from Lamborghini, we might not getting cars from Pagani, we might getting cars from a pretty lesser known brand, or like just a car company that doesn't even care, and then we can just add the car from there. So like, yeah, developers are thinking about getting that. But for now, this is a huge deal. Ford remove most of the car model in TestBoss. This might be the beginning of the end. By the way, if you have Ford cars in your garage, you can still see them in the game, by the way. So like, join the garage and you can see my Ford GT is still there, my guy. My Ford GT still is in the game. I'll bet it was as a model. You cannot drive the car. Of course, you cannot drive the car since it got removed. But it is still in the game. And man, this is it. You will not see this car ever again. This is a goner. You will not see this car ever again in TestBoss. And I think it is a really sad truth to DMCA takedown, to be honest. Like, once the car is gone, it's gone unless you're licensing it, which is really very sad, to be honest. This is the final side. This is the final goodbye to this car. I think the Shelby also got removed as well. Oh, it's still here. The Ford might be gone, but the Shelby is still there. If you still have your Ford Mustang, Ford Raptor, Ford GT, and you saw a Ford in your garage, and you still have that display, you can see that in your garage right now, before that officially got removed. So yeah, that is a really sad day for TestBoss. Like, 2 1/3 of the Ford got removed from TestBoss, and like, you can only drive Ford Focus, you cannot drive the slowest Ford. But in the future, it might not looking great for TestBoss, to be honest. There might be more car manufacturer going to the doorstep and say, hey, you cannot have the car model. And there might be more cars that got removed in TestBoss. There might be the days where TestBoss has no cars whatsoever. And of course, yeah, I can see like my Ferrari, all my Ferraris still in here. My Lamborghini, my Ferrari, all of them is still here. Imagine all of them are gone. It will be the saddest thing TestBoss has ever endured. Goodbye Ford, we will not see you again unless Project wants to license you. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. I catch you in next video. Goodbye.